There, guys. It's Tommy from Saleslucky here, and today I'm gonna share with you guys what I'm using to build up Saleslucky.com. Okay, um, if you're thinking about creating your own authority site or blog or just a website to share your passions or to build an online business, and there's going to be a couple things that you're going to need to build that, and I'm going to share with you today what I'm using to build up Saleslucky. So obviously the first thing you're going to need is a website, and you can register a domain name through any of the major providers out there, whether it's GoDaddy.com or Namecheap. I prefer Namecheap just because their prices are more economical, and to my knowledge, it's not like there's any difference if going with one company or another. And so far, Namecheap has treated me really well, and the prices are really good. So I've just been using them. Of course, you can use anyone you want. So that's number one. Number two, you're going to need a hosting provider. Now, for the non-technical folks, let me break this down for you and give you a couple suggestions. All right. So there's different levels of hosting, and I'm by far, not necessarily the most technical person in the world. Um, so let me give you a couple recommendations. There's shared hosting, which is kind of like the cheapest hosting, and it's what I used to get Saleslucky off the ground. And honestly, it's not that. Yes, you do get to save money, but the drawback is that it's really slow. You're sharing a server with a bunch of people. The analogy that I've heard people use is it's kind of like sharing a dorm room with like two other college kids, right? You've got bunk beds, you've got another bed, everyone's sharing that room, and it's not, it's you do get to save money, but it's not the most ideal experience, for yourself as the webmaster or for your users. So recently, I actually switched to VPS hosting, which is like uh, level above that, and it's much better. Saleslucky is loading much faster, which will probably help it with SEO, search engine optimization, and also just getting more visitors because it's loading faster. It's a better experience for users, right? So I've been using Liquid Web, and they've been phenomenal with me. Truly, their service is spectacular. I mean, they'll pretty much you know come as close to holding your hand through the onboarding process as possible. I mean, their support has been incredible, and has really made the transition process from Bluehost to Liquid Web very, very smooth for me. Okay, so I would highly, highly recommend them. VPS hosting is going to be more expensive than shared, but truly, if this is going to be a project that you're going to be committing yourself to, then I would recommend VPS. If you want to go with shared hosting in the beginning at first, certainly do that. That's what I did with Saleslucky. That's totally fine. If you want faster load times, then I would recommend going with shared hosting. And with Liquid Web, they have something called managed VPS hosting, which just kind of means, from my knowledge, they'll manage it for you without you having to know all the technical details. Okay. And then there's also dedicated hosting, which, again, from my knowledge, is just there's a dedicated server that you manage, and I think for the purposes of sharing this here, if you're not expecting a ton of traffic, you're probably not going to need dedicated hosting right away. So I would just focus on VPS, manage VPS hosting or shared hosting if you're just starting out. Okay, VPS will be plenty enough for what you're looking for when you're just starting out. The next thing is funnel builder, and also autoresponder or building an email list. There's all different kinds of service providers for this. Lately, what I've been using is Kartra. So Kartra comes from the creators of Webinar Jam and EverWebinar, which I'll share in a moment here. But with Kartra, that you can do so much. I was really blown away at how powerful this tool was. You can build landing pages, you can build sales pages, you can build thank you pages, you can build an email, you can build your email list, you can have opt-in forms. You can even create your own courses with checkouts right within Kartra. So pretty much with Kartra, you can pretty much build an entire online business with Kartra. Um, they are a newer product, and I absolutely love the design of their pages. It's kind of drag and drop. You pick the templates and you drag and drop and customize it to your own liking, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's what I use to build my landing page for the B2B Sales Playbook, which is my kind of primary product offering or course that I'm offering on Saleslucky, of me sharing the knowledge that I've gained really over the last 10 years in learning about sales to help you build a six-figure career in B2B or business to business sales. So that's what I use to build that. And also, it's what I use to build the landing page for Principles of Millennial Selling, which is my ebook that I've created, illustrating the principles I learned selling to professional negotiators. So Kartra is something I would recommend. Again, there's plenty of other products or services out there, and you can do your own research. But um, you know, I would endorse Kartra. They are a great provider. The next resource here is doing webinars. This past year I've been using Webinar Jam and EverWebinar, which I shared are from the same makers of Kartra, same owners of Kartra, and it's been a good experience. They have a great product. It works well. I've been thinking about switching over to Zoom just to see how it compares with uh, EverWebinar. Now, with EverWebinar and Webinar Jam, what you can do is do a live webinar and then save that recording and put it up as a replay consistently, like online, without you having to be there. And that's what EverWebinar does. So it's like EverWebinar, Webinar Jam. And I know Zoom, they also, obviously Zoom is a video conferencing tool, but they also have their own webinar feature, which I think I'm going to go check out. But again, there's different providers out there. I'm sure either one would be great. Feel free to do research online and pick what suits you best. But I started using EverWebinar and Webinar Jam, and they're a great solution. And I'm thinking about checking out Zoom moving forwards, just to see how it compares, right? And then lastly, just some thoughts on content creation. Creating content. You can either create it yourself or outsource it, hire people to do it. There's obviously benefits and drawbacks to each one. By creating your own content, which I've done so far for all of Saleslucky, is that you get to keep your authentic voice, truly and genuinely share your own experiences with your audience, and really allow your audience to get to know who you are, just as I'm doing these videos, right? The drawback is obviously it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort and energy, and it takes real discipline to hold yourself to a schedule to consistently pump out content like that. And then you can also hire people to do it. I haven't done this yet, but it is something that I would consider moving forwards as I scale Saleslucky. And the benefit is obviously you'll be able to scale, you'll be able to leverage other people's time and energy in creating content. The challenge, from what I've heard, is really finding great writers who can create the quality of content that you want, and also at an affordable price, right? Everyone needs to get paid for their services. So anyways, I hope you guys got value out of this video. And just to be 100% transparent with you guys, authenticity is a core value of Saleslucky. There are affiliate links within the description here and within the blog post as well. So if you do decide to purchase or subscribe to one of these services that I shared with you, depending on what they are, I may be getting a little kickback, a little commission off that, and just want to be transparent with you guys as I'm sharing with you guys this content. Anyways, hope you guys got value out of this video, and hope you guys take care. We'll see you guys soon. All right, ciao.